The universe does not create sameness, it creates diversity. Yet in politics, some dream of a global monoculture. One system, one order, one way of life. This video argues that such visions are doomed because the universe itself demands plural experiences and expressions of life. Creation is possible only because it is creative, because it branches, breaks symmetry, and becomes many. Not in the pursuit of deliberate hostile opposition, but because of an underlying bubbling field of excitation that demands the need to create alternative expressions of its infinite potential for existence. In this sense, allowing self-determining cultures to flourish isn't optional. It's the human face of the universe's creativity. Biology makes the case without apology. Ecosystems with many species are more resilient, more productive, and better at withstanding shocks. This is known as the insurance effect. When some species fail, others carry the system through. But when life is reduced to monoculture, collapse is never far away. A universal sameness would always be fragile and perishable, whereas the nature of differences will always be more adaptable and therefore more able to find a unique self-expression. The infinitely expressive source behind our universe insists upon such variety. Just like music, it requires alternative expressions of harmonious frequencies and workable rhythms. Human life is no different. John Stuart Mill called societies experiments in living. Isaiah Berlin warned that human values are many and often incompatible. No perfect harmony is possible. This is why attempts at global monoculture inevitably crush harmonious, well-adapted local cultures in the name of a single ideal. Karl Popper urged caution. Don't chase utopia. Pursue piecemeal improvement. Small experiments that can be compared, copied, or corrected. F.A. Hayek and Michael Polanyi both argued that knowledge is local. It can't be centralized, only discovered by many independent actors. In short, societies find harmony by playing their own tunes that suit their own vicinity. This is how cultures are created in the first place, and this is where nationalism, at its best, matters. Not chauvinism, not isolation, but cultural self-determination. The right of distinct peoples to preserve their own ways, steward their languages, and shape institutions that fit their histories. Think of it as cultural biodiversity. When nations and communities live by their own rhythms, humanity as a whole gains resilience, creativity, and new possibilities. A polycentric world is stronger than a uniform empire of often power-driven sameness. Of course, we face shared problems that demand cooperation. But cooperation does not require cultural cloning. Nobel laureate Elinor Ostrom described how polycentric systems, or many centers working in parallel, solve collective problems better than one central command. This is the pattern of nature itself. Many parts, loosely joined, coordinating when needed, but never reduced to one pattern. The dream of utopian monoculture always carries the same danger, that of stagnation. Once power is consolidated, it suppresses deviation, the very spark of renewal in the face of regional requirements or adaptivity. Uniform systems may look efficient, but when they fail all at once. As James C. Scott warned, schemes that try to make society perfectly legible to planners almost always backfire. The universe abhors such neatness because neatness is brittle. So what does the universe want? If anything, it wants the same thing it has always produced. Difference, creative variation, plural worlds. From galaxies to genes, from languages to laws, reality unfolds through alternate forms, natures, persuasions, and expressions of being and becoming. To restrict them is to deny the universe's own demands. So perhaps the task is not one world, one culture, but one civilization made of many cultures. Because sameness is fragile, but difference is life. Any authority, seeking power over the self-determination of life, is working against the will of the universe itself.